It does need to turn just a little bit.
Which way?
Like this. Yeah. Make sure that you're in. Hi. We got the babies today.
Hey, dog. Hey.
Get underneath the covers. Get cozy. On this, don't sit on it. This cold, rainy day.
Hello.
And it's so cold and so rainy. You got your mic on.
Mic's on.
Okay.
Whoop.
You guys, we got a puppy. I'm so excited. We have a new addition to our family, and actually, for the first time in a long time, feels like our family's complete.
Yeah.
You have your tablet, right?
Yeah, it's over to the right.
Okay. Let's get this pulled up for the comment section, and we'll put it in the middle here so we can both see. We've got lots of grub here for lunch today. I don't know if DC, you want to start? You want me to start? It's cold. It's rainy. So I have some nice warm mac and cheese. And then I made some homemade breadsticks with cheese. And how I like to make that is I have this favorite pizza dough that I bought from the store. It's like a ball of pizza dough. And I like break it up in pieces and then roll it and stretch it out. And I put it in a churro maker, which is the same thing as a waffle maker, only it makes churros. And then you just melt cheese on top. And it is amazing. Say hi, Maggie. Oh my gosh, she's everything. She's just so cute. What do you think, Mia?
Okay, there's going to be two ways you can look at it. This way or this way. Probably this way would be better for you.
Well, I want to be able to... Oh, how do you do that one thing?
Flip it.
Yeah, that way we can both read comments and stuff. Let's see. Yeah, okay, you can see everybody good.
Yay.
So this is Maggie. I'd like that live, yeah.
Okay.
This is Maggie. We adopted her. We rescued her. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. And she's so soft, you guys. She is just like the softest. We got some Faygo. This is my new like thing I've been craving lately is cola Faygo, and then you add 2 pumps of vanilla syrup to it.
Yeah. Which on that note, we should probably talk about that one a little bit. Is we found a place in our town that actually has 0 sugar Faygo. Kind of the reason
Not diet Faygo, 0 sugar. There is a huge difference.
Big difference.
In taste.
Which is the big reason why I stopped drinking so much Faygo, was it just got to a point where it was really killing my teeth. And I don't like diet. I just do not like the taste. But 0 sugar it just tastes better. And I know it's because they use 2 different types of artificial sweeteners than just one.
Yeah, but don't you feel like diet Faygo tastes like flat, almost like it's been open for several hours?
Kind of, yeah.
It kind of has like a flat taste.
A little bit, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's that weird aspartame taste to it, you know, which I know.
No, there's aspartame and so many things like that where you can taste the aspartame.
I don't know what it is. It's just whatever's in diet does not taste good in the slightest. So I'm gonna start munching, man. I didn't even show what I got.
Yeah, tell them what you have to eat.
I feel kind of far away here.
I want to say something before I forget, because you were talking about the aspartame, and it made me think of someone we know in our life that won't let their kids have Diet Coke, even one can.
Oh yeah.
Because it has aspartame in it, but then like they'll smoke around their kids.
Oh right, weird ass double standards.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So I've got basically like tacos, if you will. It's just Spanish rice with chicken and cheese.
That sounds good.
And this gluten-free tortilla shell is absolutely falling apart on me. But this brand is better. This is the Mission brand. The Olay brand I don't like. It's like the Olay brand's not as...
So you prefer the Mission one?
Yeah. I don't know what it is about the Olay. It's like crispier. I don't know if that's the way to describe it, but it breaks apart easier than this did.
Okay, well that's good to know.
This one just broke apart because I stuffed it too full.
But remember that thing I told you? Like if you like spray it with that spray butter and microwave it, just for like even 10 seconds, it'll kind of get soft, and then you can make your wrap. So. I would like to know, what is everybody having for lunch today on this beautiful, rainy, gloomy ass Sunday?
I was gonna say, I don't know that I would use beautiful to describe today.
I would, because we had so many plans today. So many, okay? All outside. And most of it like physical labor. Things we needed to do, like mowing. We need to go out to my dad's and cut tree limbs and pick them up and all that. It's going to be a lot. In addition to like going to the grocery store and doing our normal running around.
Oh, and we had yard work we were gonna do.
Like that's mowing. What I meant when I said mowing.
Oh, I didn't hear you say mowing. I apologize.
Yard work, which would consist of mowing and trimming and weed whacking and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. So Friday, we like cut all these trees down, and I just pushed myself past the limit. We did not have enough people to help, and I'm not complaining, but it did bear heavy on me, and it was just way too much for just me.
Mm.
Or for the crew that we had. It was too much for the crew that we had, I should say. It was just too much.
Right.
And it's kind of one of those things where, like, you got to get it done. You already started it. So I pushed myself past that limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
You do that a lot.
Yes. And I'm feeling it. Like, my shoulders, my upper back, it's sore. It's so sore. So kind of dreading today's task. And we woke up and we like checked the. Oh my god, she's so cute. I'm not gonna be able to keep on task of this live stream with this cutie but duty. I just woke up this morning and like I just could feel it, like right in my shoulders and everything. As soon as you get up, you're like achy and sore. And we went to the bathroom and everything, and I'm like stretching. I'm like, oh my god, today's gonna suck. But it's got to get done, so I was gonna push through it. And then we checked the radar and the weather channel, which is kind of like a normal thing in my routine I do before I get dressed every morning, and I seen that it was gonna pretty much rain all day. And it's like at first it's like, oh man, but then I was like, actually,
it's kind of like that blessing in disguise.
Yeah, it's a day of rest. It's like we're being forced to just kind of stay in and hibernate and rest
and not do shit.
The more I thought about it, the more I was like, these past few weeks have been crazy for us. Like go all week, all weekend. So yeah, it is a beautiful day because it is gloomy outside, yeah. But you know,
yeah,
it's beautiful because we get to just spend it inside together, some quality time, maybe binge watch some TV, do a live stream. DC, you filmed a video this morning. You edited it already. You're getting ready to upload it. Like,
yeah,
it is a beautiful day. It just looks a little different than we had planned.
Yeah, differently beautiful.
Yeah.
The sun's not shining, but that doesn't mean it's not beautiful.
It is shining in here.
Oh, because of you?
No, when I look at you.
People are like, oh my god, this is corny.
Yeah, well, we're corny, so.
Oh, Utterly Too Fresh said, I love the thumbnail.
Welcome. I didn't see your comment. Sorry, man.
Can you see that okay there?
I can now. It blended in with all the other text that's down the bottom of the screen that says, welcome to the live chat, blah, 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 blah.
Which I hate that that's up there.
Yeah, thank you for that compliment because I worked really hard on this thumbnail compared to all the other thumbnails that I would use, like templates and AI creations. Like this one I worked really hard on, and I feel really proud of it. And I appreciate you saying that because. Did you hear that?
Oh, that was me exhaling.
No, it was like
so
something fell on the roof or something.
I don't know if you have an itinerary necessarily other than the puppy for this.
I do. We have a lot. We got a new roof. We got a puppy. We got to tell her story a little bit. And I thought we would kind of talk about like how she's adjusting and maybe just a little bit of that.
Yeah, because I didn't know if you wanted to kind of just kind of on a whim go on a topic about AI and how you feel about it.
Yeah, we can. I also want to talk about the Zool show up in Michigan and just kind of briefly touch on that. So what's your thoughts of AI that you wanted to share?
I know a lot of people discuss that, and how they feel about it, and I didn't know if that was a good topic for us to get on to.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
How do you feel about it? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Do you think it's taking over for artists? Like, what? How do you feel about it?
I feel both ways.
Mm.
Because small creators like me, who are not monetized,
Right.
who aren't making any money anyways, I can't really afford to pay someone to make thumbnails for me.
Right.
My skills are only so advanced. Again, because I don't want to pay for expensive software to edit. I probably could pay for software and I probably could learn to edit more, but using AI to help me create something, not for me, is helping me create something. I'm still editing the color schemes and putting it on the desktop computer and editing it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It gives so much accessibility
Yeah.
to people. But I also do see other side of it where people who maybe that's their livelihood, now they aren't getting as many jobs and stuff. I totally see both sides. But I think the accessibility it gives to people outweighs.
Yeah. That's
You
pretty
know?
much how I feel about it. It's helped me be able to do more artwork wise. I think I've been pretty vocal in the past about I have a very great imagination, but I struggle with conveying and transferring that onto paper. Like, 'cause I don't think I can draw worth a shit. I mean, I know I can't. And AI is a way to kind of take like a thought or a vision you're having for something, running it through that prompt to see what it gives you. Because I'm also somebody who is really good at taking other, like, when someone has something out there they've already made, I can oftentimes see it and then reimagine it as something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I love about AI is being able to take art that's already out there and even just kind of reimagining it as well.
Like your computer chair image you uploaded?
Yeah, like doing that. Ever since Frankenberry Jim first made that Mario me, I was like, I wanted so many different versions of it too. Like, I had a vision at one point of him being in the sky with like a crowd behind him and like Fago bottles. Like, I used the Fago bottles to launch, and that's how I'm flying. Like, there were different things like that that I creatively wanted to kind of do with the image,
But you
but
felt like you couldn't physically make it?
right. And
So what's the difference between him gifting you that image, right? And you taking that image and modifying it on a tablet, learning those skills to modify it and edit it versus using AI? What's the difference
I guess there really isn't none.
in
But
that scenario?
yeah. But
I think there is a stigma around it though, like you said, like people have this negativity, like it's a cop out or it's, you know.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I know there's artists that I've seen that have kind of voiced their disdain towards it, but I've also seen a couple embrace it. You know what I mean? Like Carver, he draws. He's an artist. He did all of the Cartoon Nightmares for Deck Wendell. Chris is using AI to make different art. And they kind of have this like dynamic where Carver, I think, appreciates AI for what it can do, but he also like really likes it better when he knows someone pinned it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to speak for him. That's just kind of my own observation that I've seen him do between the two of them.
For me, it's like you get jealous or upset that other people make YouTube videos.
Not at all.
No, so why can't other people make art?
Right. I mean, even
some people use really expensive cameras and microphones,
yeah,
and some people don't. They just, like right now, I'm filming on my phone. So it's, to me, it's no different than that. Like, you know, if it's just the quality over, and
Right.
I do understand why artists do get distasteful by it because they feel threatened,
Right.
or I feel like it's an insult to their talent. And I get that, especially when you wrap your whole personality around one thing
Yeah.
and you like hold on to that. And that's your trademark.
Right.
Essentially, like you're the artist in the family, you're the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's your only personality trait. Like it can be really threatening. I get that.
Yeah.
But you can't this is a huge accessibility for people. Like it's allowing people to have such an amazing quality of life, and it's adding so much to like I will say one thing. My mom works in a mental health facility, and she does all of the IT programming. Like she makes the programming, like how we have a Word document and PowerPoint for like Windows. Like she makes that stuff. So it's like multiple cities, multiple facilities, like that kind of thing. The new thing they wanted her to do was putting AI into the therapy sessions. So when you go to a therapist, you have to sign a waiver, and you may want to read the fine print if you go to therapy because it's just slipped in there really small. And basically, if you sign this, then you consent to this. And what they're doing is the AI is listening to your whole entire therapy session. Then the AI writes notes for the therapist. Then the AI gives the therapist recommendations. And that's the part that I kind of feel torn on. Because on one hand, if you don't have an amazing therapist, the AI could make really good suggestions that the therapist didn't think of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I never really thought about it like that because
I think instantly, because like when she was telling me, she was like, "This is taking therapists' jobs away. This is doing a job for them." I was like, "But hang on, what if you have a really young therapist, or a really inexperienced therapist, or one that's just not very well educated or experienced? The AI could give suggestions not only for the therapist to take, but you know how when you and I have a conversation and I'll say something and it triggers another thought for you?
Yeah.
That AI could create a thought where the therapist could then bounce off their own education on to better help these patients.
Yeah, I never really thought about it like that because I remember when she was first telling us about that, I kind of had that same thought of like, oh, I don't like that. That's taking jobs away. Kind of equally, I do transportation for a nursing home and I take residents to doctor's appointments. And that is something they're putting in doctor's offices now too.
To write the notes for?
To basically, yeah, right. To chart on the patient essentially. That lets them chart the visitation.
I actually am 100% on board for the charting.
Yeah.
Because we used to write case notes where we used to work.
Right.
And all too fucking well, some of our colleagues did not do good case notes.
Right.
So if you go to the doctor and you get a doctor who's like not very good at charting, and then you get a new doctor, like there could be really important stuff left out.
Yeah. Well, and then equally too on that, especially with our hospital, I hear all the time about how the hospital is pushing for doctors to see more patients.
Every
And
9 minutes.
And that's why it's like the service almost feels shitty. Now throw in the fact that they have to do charting. That's more time that they're not spending with their patient. Whereas if they can have an AI listen to this, like the appointment, and they can transcribe everything, that saves that doctor or whoever else has to do it from going and doing that. And I know like eye doctors, they have what's called a scribe who are literally doing that. They're charting while the doctor is seeing the patient. So that is taking a job from them, but yeah, I don't know.
But
it's
it
tricky.
also makes jobs because people have to work at those AI facilities.
That's true. They got to maintain those servers and everything like
So
that.
my dad lost one of his doctors he really, really likes, and he asked the nurse there, like, why would he leave? Like, he was a really good doctor. And she said that they told him if he wanted to work at our hospital, he had to see a patient every 9 minutes. And he refused because he said, I like to talk to my patients and get to know them because sometimes other things will come up.
Yeah.
And they would not budge with him. So he had to leave.
Yeah. And I respect the shit out of that, So I guess kind of bouncing off of what you were saying with the therapist, for me, if I was an artist and I see AI coming out, the biggest thing about new technologies like that is not to try to shut them down because it's inevitable that it's going to come. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
New softwares, new technologies, new advances are going to come. How you stay relevant is to adapt with it. So as an artist, I would be someone who's like, okay, I'm going to embrace AI and I'm going to use it to enhance my art.
Mhm.
You do art and you slap it together with AI art, you have the two mixed together, and guess what? You have something now truly unique that somebody else. And I mean, when you prompt in AI, you're not going to end up with the same image twice. So there's also that. Throwing in whatever art you do on top of that AI art, I think that as an artist, that's the way to stay ahead of the AI curve,
But the
is to
thing
embrace
is,
it, use it, and evolve with it.
there's carpenters, right?
Mm-hmm.
For hundreds of years.
Yeah,
Now they have laser cutters for wood.
yeah,
Are there still carpenters?
yeah. Right.
We have engraving machines at Walmart now. Like they engraved our dog tags for us.
Yeah.
But I still have an engraver and I still dabble in that occasionally.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, when it comes to AI, I have fully like latched onto it. I don't do as much as others do, but I've definitely started playing around with it more because I love, like you said, the accessibility. Like like right around the last gathering, I've never told anybody this. I think I might have shown you a couple, but right around the time of the gathering, I remember Shaggy on the Shaggy Show had these shirts that he was going to put out at the gathering of like different songs that was art that he did. And that inspired me, and I went and used an AI creator to make my own like renditions of songs. And I think I did one for the Blasta off Death Pop. I think I did Vomit off of Lost. I did Fawn's Pond from Bang Pow Boom. And I can't remember what the other two were, but I went in and I made these. I had AI make these renditions of the songs because it was just like something that I always envisioned for artwork. I never did anything with it, but I did make them.
Right, you weren't
I
selling
think I
it.
still have the pictures.
You weren't selling it and stuff. You were just
Right. But yeah, I definitely like AI for the accessibility it gives, and I understand the worry and concern that artists have. I would say the best thing though to do is to just embrace it
adapt to
and
it.
adapt to it. Yep.
The thing is, this isn't something new. Like this concern isn't something new because when we went to the Riddle Box, the first Riddle Box show that we went to,
Yeah.
I didn't have a Riddle Box shirt. And so I made with this ghetto ass puffy paint.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote Riddle Box on my shirt and like I drew a Riddle Box and I'm telling you, it looked awful. Okay. But I didn't have one and it was just for fun.
Yeah.
So how is that any different than using AI to create a Riddle Box image?
Yeah.
Or taking an image off of Google, printing it off in your printer, and then ironing onto a shirt, which people have been doing for at least 25 years now. It's just a different form of technology. And so my opinion overall on AI is that it is mostly a good thing. Like it's helping humanity, it's helping a lot of people.
Can't wait down.
But I do see some negative side to it, like reselling people's art and stuff. Obviously that should not be allowed. So my opinion is that overall it's a good thing for our species. However, I think that we really should take into consideration some parameters and put some rules on AI likeness as far as using public figures' images or like their likeness. Like I know a lot of companies are using AI to make a generated version of a famous person to promote their product, and that would be using their likeness. So that should be illegal.
Yeah.
There needs to be parameters on it. You can't just run wild.
And I do think some of them have that because for absolute
some states have it, yes.
For absolute shits and giggles, I did download Chat GPT this last week.
Mm-hmm.
For shits and giggles, I prompted it to make a video clip of Violent J shouting out DCFAYGOGUY. And it came back and it said, we cannot do that because this is somebody's voice and we can't use their voice without the permission. I was like, okay, cool. I respect that. But for shits and giggles, I was just testing to see what it could do.
Yeah.
I had no intentions of doing anything with it, but I just wanted to see what it would do, what it could do.
Yeah.
But yeah. Or no, it wasn't. I wasn't gonna have it shout out DC Fago. I was gonna have it say what you thinking about because I was trying to reboot what you thinking about. So I wanted to have like a clip of it saying, "Yo, DC Fago guy, what you thinking about?" But it wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool.
Yeah. So I think that's good that it had like parameters like
Yeah.
that.
For sure.
Look at the puppies all zonked out.
Don Chaos said, "What up? Whoop, whoop. What up, dude?"
Welcome, Don Chaos.
I about said DC, which I guess is Don Chaos.
Yeah, you're DC. He's DC. Everyone's DC. We're in DC.
This is Mia though, and you're getting way too close to my food there with your snout.
So,
Man.
what is everyone's plans for today? I see a few people watching. What are your plans for today? It's Sunday. It's really gloomy. It's raining all day today where we're at. So, our plans are to stay inside and get caught up. We got a whole carload full of donations for Goodwill. Between the renovations and everything, we've been really, really downsizing, selling stuff, getting rid of stuff. Don Chaos says he's going for his daily walk. Yes, I 100% support that. We have been doing that for a couple months now, and I've been really noticing like the mental health side of it. And I was telling this to DC because I was like, I don't want him to take it personal, but I really enjoy going for walks by myself.
Oh.
No, I enjoy our walks too.
I was gonna say, oh, I didn't realize.
You don't remember the conversation we had?
I remember you saying that, but
I remember when I told you, like,
that wasn't where I thought you were going with that.
I
So
really
that's why I was like,
enjoy going for walks with you and the dogs, like at parks and stuff. But around the neighborhood, I've been really enjoying during the day around lunchtime. I'll go for a walk just by myself, no headphones, no cell phone, just me and what's in front of me. And it gives you just like this time to like reflect and think about your day and the day before. And it's really been helping me.
Yeah. I know a lot of times that's what I would do, kind of. One of my things that I like to do with walks, I like to put on an album and just like fully engulf myself into what's being said in the album.
I feel like I don't feel safe enough as a woman to do that in our neighborhood.
Well, I mean, I'm still observant of my surroundings, but on a walk, I feel like if I'm sitting at home and I'm playing a game or I'm sitting somewhere on my phone, I feel like there's too many distractions with that of me reading or being more focused on the game than hearing the music. So sometimes walks allow you to kind of disconnect from that kind of connectivity.
By being connected?
No. It's different. That's all I can say. It's different when you don't have those kind of distractions.
I would say I have two types of walks that I enjoy. I have the walks that I personally do every day by myself, and that is a me thing. That is my time, and I really been pushing myself, like, not to check my phone for Pokemon Go, not to get on Pikmin Bloom, not to play music, just walk and focus on that. The only thing that I have is my walking, like, workout app on my watch. And I do check that several times for my walk. So I started off doing like, my goal was a half a mile, but I was getting 0.75. And then I got up to a mile. And then right now I'm getting up to a mile and a half a day. So that's my goal right now. And it's slowly moving. So when I'm walking, I'll like check my watch and I'm like, okay, 1.25 or almost a mile and a half. Like, or at 1.40. I'm like, I'm almost there, and then I'll start to like head towards home. I find like that's my goal. I want to increase. I want to get up to 2 miles a day. Like I want to build up my stamina for that, my pain threshold or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I try really hard, and because I feel like my brain's always spinning, and I always have so many things going on. I'm always like emailing and my phone and then calling people, and like it is just constant, that if I walk and I force myself not to be on any other stimulus and just be quiet, which is weird for me, is a game changer. I have noticed things on my walk that I've never noticed in my entire life.
Hmm.
Like, I grew up on this block.
Yeah.
I've lived here for like 30 some years. And still, I go for a walk and I'll be like, I didn't know that house had a window like that, or I didn't realize that that was like that, or man, that fence is looking pretty bad. And then I'm like, yeah, I guess it always has been that bad, but I just never really noticed it when I drive by because I have music going and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like in another world. But then I have other walks that I enjoy for pleasure, and that's the walk that I go on with you. Like, we'll take the dogs to a park and walk because then there's a bigger pavement for 2 people and 2 dogs. Like, the sidewalks here in our neighborhood, there's not enough room for 2 people and 2 dogs. So then I don't feel like we get to walk next to each other and really communicate. So one of my favorite things to do is when we take the dogs to a park and we walk side by side.
Yeah.
And we just like kind of shut the whole world out and just you and me just vibe and connect. Like, that's a whole different level of, I enjoy those walks.
Yeah. Yeah, they're nice.
So I don't mean that personal. I just mean like today it's rainy and I like not gonna go for a walk today. I feel like I'm missing out on something. I feel like I'm not getting my happy juice for the day.
Oh yeah, like your dopamine hit.
Yeah, do you hear her? She's screaming.
Is that her?
Yeah, I'm gonna move the mic, you guys. So let's see if you can hear it. Can you hear it?
Mia's trying to get to it. She thinks it's a treat or something.
So what were you gonna say about? You look like you were reading the comments.
Oh yeah, I was just reading what Don Chaos said. He said he likes
taking my dog for walks. She loves them.
Yeah, he likes going to the foothills. He could easily walk in the mountains. I do.
What's the wait? What's the foothills?
Like, not quite a mountain, but like the terrain's getting close to it.
Oh, that's what a foothill is?
Yeah, so kind of like, you know, the park outside of town. That one time you went swimming and I went walking on the trail.
Oh.
Kind of like that. Those would be considered foothills.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know how well I could do that. I use a cane for mobility. I can walk without a cane, but not for very far, for very long before the pain just becomes too much. So the cane really is just an extension of allowing me to go further with less pain. So that's why, like, I'm trying to, like, right now I just got up to 1.5 miles. So I'm trying to push a little bit, but you know, every day is different.
Yeah.
Don Chaos also says, I live near the foothills.
I think he was saying I love the foothills. That was the one I was reading where I said that
I've been having to walk with a cane sometimes when I know I'm going to be out somewhere longer because I have degenerative disc disease. I actually have the same thing, so I totally get that. That's the other thing about not wanting to take my dogs, because I don't know if this will help you, Don Chaos, or not, but one thing that relieves the pressure on my disc is, like, when I'm walking, this hand's on my cane, this hand I'll put on my side, and I kind of like force myself to like stand up straighter.
Mm-hmm.
That relieves some of the pressure. Yeah. When I have the dogs on a leash, I can't do that. So all the pressure is on my spine.
Yeah.
But if I'm hands free, then I can put one hand on my hip. Well, it's above my hip. I put it on like my rib cage, and then I kind of like force myself to like stand a little straighter, and that does help. It really does. So I don't know if you can try that or not, but it does help. It kind of takes the pressure off of the normal pressure points. She's tired. Look at her.
She's getting hot too.
Look at this cutie patootie.
I'm getting warm.
Yes, you are. Her name is Maggie, but she also goes by Shitpot, Marshmallow Head, Gizmo, Mogwai,
Maggie the Mogwai.
Gremlin.
She really is like a Mogwai because she's sweet in this moment, but at times she's a fucking gremlin.
Oh no, you're precious.
No, you even said it yourself. She gets crazy.
She is.
Yeah. See, so she turns into a gremlin,
She's a good dog. She just makes bad decisions.
just like you used to, Mia. How does it feel to not be the shit pot anymore?
So yeah, I don't know, Don Chaos, if you want to try that or not. Move her hand around a little bit. It does help. It kind of like gives your back some support.
Yeah.
So and mine's like that's just genetic because my grandma had the same thing. So.
Yeah. I'll say I know some of your aunts struggled with
My
it,
aunt
too.
has the same thing. I got 2 uncles that have the same thing. Like it's just in that family, and I just got blessed with it. So
Here you go. Here's your inheritance.
yeah, but that's why if you ever see me like with my hand on my ribs like that,
Yeah.
I'm pushing myself up straight. It does help. So and I feel like I can go further like walking without pain then.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But I do really enjoy our walks together. I don't want you to feel like
Oh no, I know.
what I said earlier makes you feel like not wanted. I love going on walks with you.
No, I get it.
And too, as a woman, like I feel so much safer going on walks with you.
But it is nice to like disconnect and just have that me time.
Yeah.
It's just for me. A lot of times, my me time, I like listening to albums. Music is everything to me. Music is a lot to
but
me.
I do that when I'm working. Like
Yeah.
when I split wood, I love listening to music. When I mow the yard, I don't think I can mow the yard without music.
Yeah, I don't know how I ever did.
Like when I was trimming, the last time I was trimming, like the neighbor stopped me and I was like, ugh, and then I had to take my headphone out. And she kept trying to talk to me. I'm like, girl, can I? I'm like vibing here. Just let me vibe.
You're ruining the vibe.
Yeah, no, I have a wood splitting playlist, which has a lot of like upbeat songs,
Yeah.
like Tech Nine songs. It's very upbeat. It's very like you want to dance to it when we're like splitting wood. And then my mowing playlist is more of like albums.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a lot of times you can kind of you gauge how much time you spent by the album you're listening to. Like, oh, I made it to this track.
Oh man, Don Cannon says they won't let him play music anymore at work.
Ugh, that sucks.
I never understood that. I one time, like when I was way younger, I worked in a factory and they wouldn't allow headphones. Not even one headphone.
That's fucked up.
But the factory was so loud, it didn't matter.
Right.
Like because I was like, why? I don't understand why we can't have one headphone in.
Right.
And they would always say it's a safety concern. I'm like, how is it a safety concern when I literally can't hear someone sitting next to me?
Right.
Literally, that's how loud that factory was. So if anything,
And that's
an earplug would provide me some ear protection.
Which I will say, which was what kills me, because there's some
and
places,
they would let people wear earplugs,
but
not headsets.
And that's what I was getting ready to get to is some places you have to wear, like they require you to wear earplugs as a safety precaution. And I remember Chris, the factory he works at, I guess he got in trouble one time for wearing headphones. They said you need to have proper hearing protection. He's like, these are noise canceling. I remember him telling me that one time. This was years ago.
Do they let him?
I think they finally gave into it because he explained to them that they're noise canceling and they're going to protect his hearing just as good, if not better, than the earplugs would. So yeah.
So remember when I told you that I wear like a not a wireless, like one with a cord.
Yeah.
This is how long ago this was. This was before wireless headsets, and I would put it in my ear, and then I would braid my hair and kind of tuck it into my shirt, and that's how I would listen to music. Also, that is the same factory that me and Kayla played the alphabet game. I swear that game is what got us through that job. So every day we would pick a different topic. It could be animals in the jungle, albums, restaurants, fast food, whatever category would be different every day. So if we wanted to do like, I can't even think of something. Give me a topic, like
music,
like artists or albums or songs.
albums.
albums.
Yeah.
So then you would think of an album that started with A,
Absolute Power.
and then you would do B.
Bizarre.
Yeah. And we would both have to come up with one, and it couldn't be the same answer. And we'd go through the whole alphabet.
Oh.
Yeah. And we would just take turns, like every day. Me and Kayla would like come up with a different topic.
Yeah.
Literally, what got us through it.
When I worked at a factory, thankfully,
the whole time we would be like abracadabra. What? Absolute power. Oh, okay.
I was blessed. The factory I worked in, they allowed headphones, which was nice because that was when I first discovered Twisted in 2007. So I was able to listen to Mansmith and Mutant, and then Independence Day when it came out. Like it was nice to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Which I think is funny because Roan Bone from Beneath the Dirt, a couple years ago, he asked me. He's like, I was doing it was like at the end of the year, and I was doing my like top albums for the year, and it'll also show on there how many minutes or how many hours you spent listening to music. And he goes, Jesus Christ, how do you listen to so much music? I was like, I'm blessed to have a job where I can listen to music.
Do you feel like your job now, you get to listen to it enough? Like you're satisfied?
Oh, yeah.
She's getting hot. She's panting.
Yeah, because when I got to go out of town, depending on the resident I'm with, usually like 9 out of 10 of the residents that I take will sit quietly. So I just pop in one AirPod and listen to an album. But if I'm with somebody who's kind of a chatterbox, then there's no way in hell I'm listening to music because, I'll be pausing it every, couple minutes. What was that? What'd you say?
You just gotta tell them you're hard hearing.
Yeah. Well, and when I'm in the bus, that's easier because they're further back. It's like, I can't hear you because I really can't. Let's see. Don Chaos also said the reason why my back is so bad now because all the years of working, I did a lot of physical work, got injured at a job, and that's how I found out. Yeah, I remember him talking about that. Him and I have talked about that before, where he used to work, which that company is known for that kind of shit.
See, that's what sucks. Like all these young people, you get like your first or one of your first jobs, and you don't know any better. No one tells you any differently. No one advocates for you. And you get hurt at work, and then you pay for it for literally the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, because when I worked at that retail job, I was, 26? Hurt my back, and I still suffer from it.
Yeah. See, and if you would have had an adult or a parent or somebody tell you, listen, don't hurt yourself for the job. It's not worth it. And if you do get hurt, this is what you need to do. You need to file a report. You need to go to the hospital. You need to get blah, blah, blah. You need to file for compensation. You need to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you waited like a day too late. And then they're like, oh, it's got to be in the first 24 hours. And then they wouldn't pay for anything.
Which is a
bullshit
you got, rule.
But if someone had explained that to you,
yeah.
But no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so because nobody did, which was an injustice to you,
yeah.
Now you got to pay for it for the rest of your life.
Yep. Shitty.
This is a cuddle bug over here.
So what else did we have on the itinerary?
I didn't know if you wanted to go into the roofing that we got done at all, or if you wanted to go into like Maggie's adoption story.
Let's do the adoption story because I feel like our last one we talked a lot about renovations, and so I guess we could go into renovations and the fact that most of them are done. New roof, the floor's done, everything's slowly back in order here where we're sitting. We got an entertainment center that we're stripping, sanding, staining, and varnishing, and then get it put together, and we'll have our living room back in order.
I mean, we're saving up for some furniture. We had to get rid of 2 chairs during the renovation. They were just beyond saving.
Right.
And
we got a 3rd chair that's on its last limb too.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be thrown out, but we don't have any more furniture, so we have to keep it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're definitely saving up money. Eventually, we don't need it right now. It's not a necessity.
Right. We're getting by.
So why don't you talk about Maggie's adoption story?
Well,
you have to hold her though when you talk about it though.
Well, she's being cute.
But she's not on camera.
But you said yourself she was getting hot, and she's just gonna get hot if I hold her. Oh gosh. See, she's like a rag doll here. Come on, I'm trying to turn you here, toots.
Oh, Michelle's here. Hi, Michelle. She says, I love the cartoon picture. I just tuned in. I'm pretty busy over here today. A rabbit had bunnies in the yard. I built a fence around the little babies to keep the dogs away. Oh,
that's cute. Very cute.
Have you ever seen a baby bunny nest?
I have, yeah.
It's really good that she put a fence around it to protect them. Like, not everybody does that.
Yeah, I unfortunately found them the hard way, or the bad way.
No,
mowing.
You didn't.
I did. You remember this?
You mowed over?
Yeah. I didn't do it on purpose.
When?
You remember when we lived on the west side of town?
In the apartment?
Yeah, we had the neighbor across the street that was annoying, and he came over trying to stop me, but because he was annoying, I brushed him off because he was being annoying, like per usual. And then he like finally made me shut the mower off. He's like, "There's baby rabbits down there."
Did you mow over them?
There was one that got like a little hurt. Yeah, let's not talk about this. I feel bad now.
I didn't know that happened.
I thought I told you about it when it happened.
Did you put the little one out of his misery?
They're like, he wasn't like hurt bad.
Was he missing an ear? A leg?
Well, they ran off. All I saw was a little bit of blood on the grass.
Oh, okay.
So like he was well enough to run away.
So maybe it was just like his ear or something, or his head that got
Yeah,
nicked.
that's what I'm thinking.
You never told me this story.
I thought I did. Because remember I came in and said such and such was annoying me again and it made me stop because it was bunny nest.
Yeah, that part, yes, I remember. Not the part that you ran over them.
Well, guess what? I did.
I can't believe that. No, but it made me think about that's what I was saying. Like, it's a really good thing that she like put the fence around and everything. Like, she's taking care of them, because I made me think about our neighbor.
Yeah.
They let their yard get so ungodly long. I'm telling you, it was taller than my kneecaps. Like, it was so tall. So tall. So bad that the city came and said, like, you got to mow in 2 weeks or we're going to mow. At the 2-week mark, before the city got there, he was out there with a machete. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
A thatcher?
No, yeah, right. Machete.
Really, it's like the two-handed thing, and he was like mowing like that.
Oh, was it a machete or was it a sling blade, like a Kaiser blade?
It's not a machete. It's something else. It's like how they used to mow like big fields.
So Kaiser blade, yeah.
And he was doing that. He did that with his whole front yard, but he never did his backyard. And then I guess they finally got a mower or something. As you can imagine, at this point, it's past my belly button. The mower's not mowing. It's like he's going over a little bit, and then it's like starting to die, and he has to like raise it. It was a nightmare. He does this for like 20 minutes. He's out there cussing. He throws the mower, breaks it. Then he goes and gets a weed whacker. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
And he mows his backyard with the weed whacker. And he hit a bunny nest. And I was outside when it happened, and I heard them crying out in pain. And it was literally the worst thing I think I've ever heard, because they kept crying. And I was like, oh my God, Kenny, oh my God, is that what I think it is? And you're like, yeah, let's go inside. And I just like teared up because they kept crying. And the guy freaked out. Like, you could tell he was freaking out too. He put the weed whacker down and was trying to like brush through the grass to see what was going on. And it was like, that's why you don't let your grass get that long. Yeah. Like, it can happen to anybody, but still, like, that has always like, it was just the worst sound ever.
I think there's always, my imagination is weird. I always think of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The scene where the kid comes over and is mowing with the little remote control mower.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always think of that movie when I mow for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever killed on a mower, which you know the story.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think I've told it on my YouTube channel.
Oh, man.
The only time I've ever killed an animal with a mower was I was very, very little, and I was mowing with my dad's tractor, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So there's a huge disconnect between you and the ground, and you can't really see what's right in front of you. Obviously, if you're mowing with a bush hog, the grass is pretty tall. I hear a caw. And I was like, I thought maybe a rock, because that's what it kind of sounded like, a rock.
Kind of.
So I stopped the tractor and I get off and I check, because I'm thinking, if I dulled a blade or something, like I need to go let Dad know. It was not a rock. It was a turtle, and he was now in 3 pieces. And it was so much blood and just gooey brain-looking guts everywhere. I remember crying as a kid. I'm like, oh my God, like I did this. Like I was just like, I ran and got my dad, and he was like, it's okay, it happened. I was like, no, he could have a family. They could be waiting for him to get home. He was just living his life, man, and I ruined it.
Mama, where's Papa? I
So
don't know,
Dad,
sweetie. He's normally here by now.
Goes and gets a shovel and cleans it up. And he's like, okay, he's cleaned up. You can finish mowing. I was like, I can't. I couldn't. I was just like,
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever killed an animal. And it was unintentional. But like, you know what I mean? Like, not like an insect, but like an animal. And I was so distraught. And so Dad's like, what if we have a proper burial? Would that make you feel better? So and I'm sure my dad was like so annoyed because we had stuff to do and he just wanted me to get back on the tractor and finish mowing.
Yeah.
So he could get back to whatever he was doing. So he dug a hole, we buried the turtle, and made a little cross out of sticks and put it there, said our piece, like said a few words of like, I'm sorry, and it was an accident and everything. And I could just picture my dad like so annoyed, he's like, please forgive my child. She didn't mean to. He says it's okay. And so then like I got back on the tractor, but I didn't want to because I was like, well, what if I hit something else? You know what I mean? So then the whole time I'm mowing, I'm like, like look at everything.
Diligently looking.
But you know what though? My dad ran over a gun. Did I ever tell you that?
I thought it was a primer. It was a primer, right?
That
was the vacuum.
He ran over a gun.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, he was out in the woods, again on the tractor.
Yeah.
But they had issues with really aggressive dogs and coyotes and wolves out there. So he would carry a gun in case he got cornered or stuck or something.
Yeah.
And I guess it was like really bumpy terrain, and it like fell off his back seat. And he ran over it. And thankfully no one got hurt. But he said after that, he doesn't carry rifles anymore. He carries them like on his front person, and he's always like super careful now. But yeah.
Damn.
No, he vacuumed up a primer.
Yeah, I remember that story.
And if you don't know what a primer is, it's the little thing on the back of a bullet that ignites a bullet, kind of like a spark plug in a car. And we make our own bullets, so a primer that was live, hadn't been fired yet, fell on the floor or something, and he vacuumed with the vacuum that has like the old ones that has a bag inside that you have to change. And it went in and went poof. Like dust came out. Like the bag was still in one piece, but it could have, you know what I mean? It could have caught flammable. So
I feel like I've seen TikToks where people clean air filters that way. They put a firecracker in the middle. And
that's really what it looked like. Yeah, he's got really lucky. He didn't like ignite something, but
right.
Oh my gosh, let's get caught up on the chat. So she said, Michelle says she's sorry for the bad memories of bunnies. Tragic little turtle story. I know, like, dude, that story has haunted. I don't think I slept for 2 weeks after that. It was the same thing when I got a tour of a hog facility.
Yeah.
My dad like got this opportunity to like go get a tour of this hog facility. And for whatever reason, my dad's like, this will be a really like good opportunity for my daughter to go. I'm little. We go through the kill floor.
Oh yeah. Oh
we
no.
see them hanging.
Yeah, I've seen that. And it stinks too.
I've seen one of them get killed. I don't think I ate pork for 2 years after that. I was traumatized.
I know that's exclusively the only meat you eat is ham.
No, so did you ever go to the room where they boil the blood?
Yes, that room is atrocious.
There's no way to describe the smell of boiling blood. It is what it is, okay? It's rotten flesh mixed with boiled blood. There is no way to describe it unless you smelled it. That smell, I smelled when I was a really, really little kid. Never smelled it again in my whole life until I was in college. And I was doing my medical classes.
Yeah.
We were doing like dissecting and anatomy and stuff. And one of the things we had to do was bake bones. And we were like processing the decaying part of them. Like how much baking until they start to like decay and like the damage that it does on the bones, and it shows like different ages and stuff of the bones. There's bone marrow in there, and when it bakes, it's a very similar smell. And I remember taking it out of the oven, and I was just instantly nauseated. I'm like, I literally cannot do this.
Yeah.
Because it just brought me back to that place.
Yeah.
Juggalo Collectibles is in the chat.
Woo-hoo.
He says we need this as a series, Twisted Tales from Meg and DC. I actually like that. And he spelled it like twisted.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We got some twisted stories, that's for sure.
I think my first time killing an animal, again, completely accident. I was on the highway. I was coming around the curve. I was outside of Muncie. And all I seen was the bunny dart out from the field. And I hear thump. It was all within a half a second because I'm going 55. It's a highway. But I seen him come out, and then I hear the thump, and I'm like, there was literally nothing.
No, there's no way you could have swerved.
There's nothing I could have done.
No.
It happened so fast. By the time I saw him, he was getting hit.
Is that the only time you've ever killed an animal?
Aside, yeah. No, there is another time. When I worked at that retail job, I told you about this.
The bird?
The bird, yeah.
Well, it was, since we're on the topic of twisted tales, and you might as well share it.
Yeah, this one's pretty twisted. And actually, for listening to a lot of wicked shit about killing people, this one actually fucked with me.
It is actually twisted.
It really was.
No, like...
I literally, it was very twisted. So I'm walking into work one day, and this bird flies, it's retail, it's a storefront, flies right into the window as I'm getting ready to walk in. And he like starts fluttering, and
he was in pain.
His leg was broken.
Aww.
And he was struggling with his wings. And I'm like, there's no way this bird's going to survive. Like, he's going to die.
Yeah.
So I felt that the best thing to do for him was to put him out of his misery so he wasn't hurting. So I went in, grabbed some paper towel, went back out, grabbed him, put him in the paper towel, and just like grabbed his neck and kind of twisted.
Oh.
I did it very quickly.
Did you hear it crunch?
I felt it. I heard it. Oh. And just the feeling I felt was awful. And I knew in that moment, I was like, I could never take a life.
Oh, that must have been really hard for you.
It kind of messed with me for the rest of the day, because
like, even though it was a merciful thing, like you saved him, because especially if his wings were messed up, he would never survive in the world.
Yeah.
Without being able to fly.
Well, and his leg was broken. Like, he was struggling to take off. He was struggling to move from where he was.
He was scared. He was panicked because he knew.
And one of the cashiers, she's like, "Oh, here, take these fly swatter." Because I told, as it happened, they heard it, and I was like, "A bird just flew into the window."
Swatter.
They said, "Take this fly swatter and move him into the bush." I'm not gonna go put him in the bush to just die.
He would have been probably a couple of days. He would have starved or dehydrated.
They were like, well, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "I think the right thing to do is to just end it for him." So I went and grabbed the paper towel. Juggalo Collectibles. Damn, DC. I felt awful. I did not listen to any Twisted or i.c.p or nothing for the rest of that day. I just
that day. Then the next day it was like a new day.
Then the next day it was like it was back on.
Does any songs ever take you back to that?
I will say the part from In My Room where he, like, one of my cats jumped on my bed and scared my lover because she doesn't like pets.
Yeah.
So I twisted its fucking head off at the neck. That line makes me think about that bird.
I actually remember when that happened, and I remember feeling like so proud that like you are my man, because nobody else there was brave enough to do the right thing. Yeah. And obviously there was people there who maybe wanted do the right thing, but couldn't go through with that.
Yeah.
And you put your own feelings aside and did like what was right for that bird. And I always admired that about you when that happened.
Yeah.
I felt like a sense of like, that's my man. Like,
well, because
like one of the things that we have always bonded over is being animal lovers. And like the bird that, speaking of bird, you're a bird whisperer. We were leaving, remember? We were leaving the house and
oh yeah,
there was a bird like in distress over here. Our neighbors are absolute pigsties. Like, just the trashiest neighbors. We literally trashed all of the yard, the front yard, the backyard, trash everywhere, right? They had trash hanging from their tree, amongst other things. And there was, for whatever reason, fishing line hanging from their tree. And this little bird had his foot caught in the fishing line. And so, of course, me and DC, like, rushed over. I'm like, I don't even care if they get mad that we're on their property. Like, we rushed over there, and DC, like, held the bird, and I tried to cut the string, and, like, we, like, saved him.
yeah.
And, like, I don't know, like, when you, like, held that bird, he just instantly, like, calmed down. Like, we saved his life, because he was probably already stressed out so much. I don't know if he could have handled much more.
Well, there was no getting out of that.
Yeah.
I think they'd used the fishing line. I think it was for a bird feeder, but
Who freaking knows?
something broke on the bird feeder, so it somehow got its foot looped in the fishing line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, you shouldn't feel bad about the day that you snapped.
Well, it was for what
Like,
messed
you
with
did
me.
what you felt was best at that time with the resources you had. You were on the clock. You couldn't, like, take this bird to the vet or something.
Right. Well, it was for me in the moment of doing it and feeling and hearing. The only thing that ran through my mind was like, I hope this isn't hurting. Like, I hope this doesn't hurt. And then, I did it quick. You know what I mean? So, like, as it's happening, you're like hoping that your goal and intention was successful.
Yeah.
But there's like no way of knowing.
Well, I mean, I don't think it could have hurt any worse than like a broken leg, and he's trying to walk on it. Like, that would be excruciating. Can you imagine, like, breaking your leg and you're panicking and you're trying to get away? Like, that would, I can't imagine it hurting worse than that.
Well, and so see another twisted tale of things that have happened at that same retail place. They always had mice problems, so they always put glue traps down.
This one is awful.
Yeah, I think you've heard me tell this one before.
We might as well just change this from Lunch with Megz and DC to Twisted Tales with Megz and DC.
I was in the back room.
This one is worse than the bird story, I feel like.
I would agree, yeah.
So, there's children in the room.
Yeah, viewer discretion is advised at this point.
Children out of the room, this one's pretty bad.
I could hear this, like, squeaking. You could tell it was an animal in distress. So I go back and I look and I find it. It was a glue trap, and it was one that I had set
because you were told to.
Because I was told to.
Yeah, not that you chose to.
And here's this mouse on there, and he's like, you can see him trying to pull off of this glue, and I could see his chest beating because he was just like in stress, and it fucked with me because it's like he was alive and I knew what was going to happen. So I took the glue trap, I folded it in half. And I went and I got a hammer and I real quickly hit it, and then yeah.
Damn, DC.
But again, I didn't want him to suffer. But I guess ultimately I shouldn't have put the glue traps down.
No, you didn't know any better. Now you know. Now you know better. But back then you didn't know any better. You were just, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I've only accidentally killed 2 animals, I think. The turtle, for one. Rest in peace, Mr. Turtle. And I did run over a squirrel one time, and it was.
I remember that one. You were like so distressed about it too.
I had to pull over on the side of the road. I was like, I can't believe I just did this.
Yeah.
It was a turtle all over again. This 20-year-old woman, like, I had this outer body experience for like my 20-some-year-old adult ass body, like, pulls out. I go back into that little like 8-year-old. I'm like, Mr. Turtle.
Oh yeah, I remember that because I think we were going out of town, and it was like normally a 45-minute drive, and it took like an hour to get there because we pulled over because you were like so distressed about it.
The only time I technically killed an animal on purpose was we were living in an apartment. And Juggalo Collectible says, "I'll catch you guys later. Have to move a trailer. Is that for your collection?
Is it full of?
Have fun.
She's going to get a trailer full of collectibles.
Yeah. So back on the Twisted Tales. The only time intentionally, we're living in an apartment, okay, and we like our neighbor had cockroaches, like it was awful, right? We got a mouse,
Oh yeah.
and I didn't know if this thing had diseases or not, given the fact of the neighborhood that we lived in. With it was just a rough neighborhood, dirty. We had a dog, an indoor dog, and so my main concern was our dog getting a hold of this and like eating it and the blood getting in her mouth, or maybe she bites it and blood gets in her mouth and she gets sick from this transmitted diseases and stuff. That was my only concern.
She's asleep. Her paws feel rough. So.
I set up a trap, not a glue trap, but the one that would be like quick and instant. And it wasn't even a wooden one. It was a good solid steel metal trap.
I thought it was one of the black ones with spikes on it.
It was a gray and black one that Dad gave me.
Ah.
And it's supposed to like crush their skull so that they like it's instant, right? And I trust me, I made sure I was like, this is gonna be instant, right? This isn't gonna hurt he's not gonna suffer. So we set the trap up, go to work, come home. It caught it, right? Didn't think anything of it, threw it away, had a moment of silence. I felt bad for the little guy, but it was just like I had to get it out of my house, right? Later, what would you say, Kenny, a week or so?
Yeah.
We're moving furniture. You know where I'm going with this?
I think so, yeah.
We move furniture and we find a nest of baby mice dead. And all that could go through my head was I killed their mother. And because I did that, they all died because nobody was bringing them food and water.
Yeah. I've found so many baby nests like that at that store I worked at.
Alive?
Yeah.
You move them outside into a bush or something, or?
A couple times, yeah. Some of the times that I found them dead, I just threw them in the trash.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're little pink things when they're babies. They're just tiny little pink.
So that one I did feel bad because I was like, damn. But like, how would we have known? Like, there was no way we would have known that. You know what I mean? It's like we seen the mouse. Our dog chased it into the closet, and the mouse went underneath the closet door. The closet door was shut. So I put a mouse trap inside the closet, shut the door so hopefully our dog wouldn't get to it. Went to work, come home. Our dog was still sitting outside the closet door when we came home. And then the trap was, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that one.
So I did feel really bad. They're like, damn, if I would have known, I could have took him like outside or put him in a bush or I don't know. It always bothered me. But I did go hunting one time, well, a few times, but after I got my hunter's license and I had to take like an online course, I got my little certificate and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I went hunting with my dad, and he set it all up. And I remember looking through the scope and seeing that deer, and he was like, okay, whenever you're ready, just pull. Like, it's already set up for you, safety's off, just whenever you're ready. And I seeing it through the scope, and it's like I've never seen a deer so close in my life.
Yeah.
And seeing his little face, and I just couldn't stop thinking about like it probably has kids back at home, and like this one little, I barely moved my finger, and its whole life has changed. And not only its whole life, it's like the butterfly effect, because whoever it's gonna mate with or whatever other things it's gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to. And he was like, okay. Hi, Maggie. I was like, yeah. I changed my mind. I don't want to anymore.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like, he didn't pressure me or anything. He was just like, okay.
Then he took the gun and did it.
Huh?
Then he took the gun and did it.
Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah,
But then when
I
they
could never hunt.
went to go get the deer, like he dropped me off at the cabin. I didn't have to see any of that.
Yeah.
But then, like as I got older, then yeah, I've seen a deer dressed or gutted. I've seen that.
Yeah. I'm too empathetic
Where are you
and
going?
compassionate to
The window's closed, Toots.
cause harm like that.
She wants
So
to
I
look
don't
out the
think-
window so bad, I think.
I don't think I could kill.
Yeah, I
wouldn't even
mean,
hunt.
if our family was hungry, I probably would be fine to do it. But in that instant, I was like, we don't need to do this.
Right.
So the window's closed, baby. Yeah.
She just likes to lay there, I think.
No, she's looking out.
We got
She's pushing it with her head.
Bratley says, whoop, whoop.
Welcome. Does anybody have what is everybody's plans for next week? Today's Sunday. Next week will be starting soon. What's everyone's plans for the next week?
I'm going to go to work, and then I think if I don't end up doing it today, which I don't think I'll do it today, maybe next weekend, I think I do want to do that review for the new Linkin Park album.
I really think you should because you're so passionate about it. I think it will show in the video.
Yeah.
Your excitement and your passion.
Yeah.
That new Linkin Park album with the newest addition to the band is so good, you guys. And it's a really good album. If you like rock, it's good.
Yeah.
She's just looking out that little crack.
What else we got on our itinerary?
I have to mow next week.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta mow.
We were going to mow today, but
I gotta work. I gotta mow. I got to sweep and mop. I like to sweep and mop once a week. So I gotta do that. I need to get some glue. I gotta drop off the railroad spikes. We have to go to Home Depot and return some of the extra flooring.
Maggie, you're getting all up in Mia's face.
Poor Mia. A lot.
Got a lot going on. Got a busy week ahead of you.
I gotta go probably sometime this week help Dad with those tree limbs.
Okay, go after work with you.
Did you hear that?
I did.
Oh, amazing.
Big
We
crunch.
should try these mics with we like do each other's backs and stuff. Michelle says my mom is having a birthday. Is she having a birthday this next week? She's a May baby. How old is she gonna be?
She's a maybe. That was corny. I apologize.
Hey, Mother's Day is coming up.
That's true. Next Sunday, week from today.
Do you think, and this is just an idea, an anti-Mother's Day live stream?
Oh, maybe.
For all the people who doesn't celebrate Mother's Day.
I think maybe. Her birthday is Wednesday.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
So
That's
she's an early May baby then.
She's an early maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. We haven't celebrated Mother's Day, and my grandmother was like a mother to me, so I kind of feel like after she passed away, like just the Mother Day traditions and stuff just all kind of just stopped for me.
Yeah.
Like she was such a huge personality in our family. Like my grandma on my dad's side, like I mean, every holiday we were getting together for dinner and family get together, and it just kind of like felt like your world came crashing down when she passed away.
Yeah.
And then I have my other grandma on my mom's side. We're not as close, but of course I still loved her and everything. And occasionally we would go over there for like a Mother's Day brunch type thing. But then when she passed away, nobody comes around anymore. Like, and it's not from a lack of trying. Like we've tried. Like nobody wants to get together on that side of the family ever.
Right.
It's so heartbreaking. So I don't know that we have any Mother's Day plans.
I don't think so. I'm not really close with my mom.
Think you're gonna at least text her?
Probably at least, yeah.
Yeah. Help remind me to text mine.
Okay.
It's weird because I feel like sociably there's a big pressure for Mother's Day. online, you'll see people either like, you know, going off on a like, my mother's my best friend, so thankful to have her, whatever. Or you'll see people like, my mother's not around anymore, so if your mother's around, then you should make it a point to call her because I can't call mine. And there's all that like pressure of like, it's either one or the other. And I don't feel like there's a good representation online or socially for the people who may still have a mother in their life,
right,
but for whatever circumstances aren't close, or there's trauma or abuse or some other toxic reason why you don't really hang out a lot. And I kind of like, I don't know if you feel comfortable or not, but I kind of want that to be a safe place for people. Like, if you're feeling conflicted or you're feeling like, like it's not one or the other, life isn't black or white. There are gray areas.
right.
And you have to do what's best for you. So if you're not feeling like celebrating Mother's Day, you don't have to celebrate it in the traditional ways. You can celebrate it however you like, or you can choose not to celebrate it at all.
I agree.
So
I agree with that.
So I'll probably text my mom just because, that's like the right thing to do or whatever. But I don't see us like hanging out or anything.
No, especially when she doesn't get out and do much.
I know many moons ago, we did try and invite both of our moms out for lunch for Mother's Day.
I remember that.
And they both bailed on us.
Yeah.
How effed up? They both stood us up. Both of them.
I think that's what's made it so easy to just be like, why are we trying to maintain this?
That was the last time.
Yeah.
It was Bob Evans, remember?
Yeah.
We planned it for Bob Evans. We offered to pay. We were going to take them together so we can just get like a one and done, right? Get it over with. And they both stood us up. And I just remember like being like, then I'm done. Like, why would I put more effort into this?
Right. Well, and that's the thing too, is like
I feel like I tried. I did my part.
Like you said, there's always this pressure, like, oh, that's your mom, she did so much for you. But the relationship with my mom, she made a lot of selfish choices in her life that impacted us kids.
Yeah.
In different ways. Like, it affected me different than my other siblings,
Yeah, it affected you all differently.
Yeah.
All negatively, but in different ways.
Right. And the route that I took was, more of a, okay, I don't need you. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna go do what I gotta do for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when she made the choices to be, go do whatever the hell she wanted,
Mm-hmm.
to live like she's young. And, there's different times we'd go to her house and she smokes. We don't like smoking. And she's like, well, it's my house. So we stopped coming over. She's like, well, how come you don't come over anymore? Examples like that, it's that kind of stuff. So it's like, I'm going to do what I gotta do. Go ahead and do you. You know what I mean?
I like to share one of my favorite quotes on that, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
I can't take credit for it. Somebody else told it to me, but they said, it is not an adult's responsibility, which we are adults, to maintain or nurture, to create a relationship with your parents.
Yeah.
It was your parents' job when you were a kid to build a relationship with you.
Yeah.
It is not your job as an adult to build a relationship with your parent.
Right.
And that doesn't mean you can't. Like, if you both decide we want to wipe the slate clean and start over, and maybe they're sober now, or they went to rehab or something like that, like, hey, let's start over.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
Definitely second chances.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's one of my favorite quotes I've ever heard was, it's not your responsibility as an adult to grow and maintain and nurture this relationship. It was your mom's job when you were a kid to build a relationship, so that when you're an adult, it's your parents' job for security and safety and to provide for you to build that relationship. And if it's not there, that's not on you. That's because they failed you as a kid.
Yeah.
And the other quote that I'd like to share is, when you look at adult children, it's really interesting, like the adults who still hang out with their family, their parents, that really reflects all the work that that parent put in when they were a kid.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh my god, she's so cute.
You're stretching.
Like you see that reflected in adults, you know, who spend a lot of time with their parents. For example, my grandmother and great grandmother were like best friends.
Yeah.
Mother daughter, best friends. Through and through till she passed away.
Yeah.
But when you look at their younger years, like they had a great relationship because when she was younger, her mom put so much into it.
Yeah.
Like she invested everything into her daughter. She gave her daughter everything she possibly could. And then when she got old, her daughter took her into their house and gave her everything she possibly could.
Yeah.
And you kind of see that, like, the biggest compliment you can get as a parent is your adult child wanting to spend time with you.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest parenting compliment you can get if you have an adult child who wants to spend time with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that quote because it's so true. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So. You tired?
I am.
I'm tired too.
I don't even think we got into the story of Maggie yet, have we?
Oh yeah, you gotta tell Maggie's adoption story.
Yeah.
What do you take to celebrate?
I don't specifically remember the specifics of it, but I remember you said you had a dream. Or no, it was we were out in the
it was
yard.
the day before I had a dream.
Well, no, but before that, we had Mia. We were trying to get so everyone remembers we had lost our old dog
in December last year.
Our other dog has been very mopey, not herself.
Very depressed.
As it's been getting warmer out, we've been trying to get her out to run and, bring her out of this funk a little bit. And one thing she used to do with our other dog was run with a stick in circles and circles. So I grabbed a stick and tried to get her enticed to go get it, and she just didn't. Like, I'd throw the stick, she'd look at the stick, look back at me like, what? And it just was not her. And it was in that moment that we kind of made the decision, okay, maybe we should look into possibly getting a puppy or getting another dog.
Not just that, when we went for a walk and she refused to walk with you.
That too, yeah. Took her for a walk. She did not want to move, which, I mean, sometimes she's reluctant to go with us on rides and stuff.
We were like halfway there. We were halfway there. She just decided to stop walking.
So that, on top of her just sleeping all the time and just not being herself, we made the decision, okay, maybe we should look. And the first day we get to look in, and we found Maggie and a couple others. And then that night you had the dream, and you said, I'll let you go into the dream since you had it.
Oh, yeah. So what was that, like Thursday?
Yeah, it was a Thursday night.
A Thursday, we were like, we should just like look on petfinder.com because that's where we got Mia. And petfinder.com, you can look by miles, like how far you're willing to travel. You can search by breed. You can search by the age of the dog if you want an older dog or a younger dog. So we're like, well, we'll just see like what's in our area. And I look by breed because I love Shih Tzus. I don't care if they're purebred. That part doesn't bother me. I just like that breed. And like you said, 2 or 3 came up. And I pushed like inquiry about them. We were like reading their story, and Maggie, like there was something about Maggie that stood out to me against the other ones.
Yeah.
And I don't really like get spiritual, but it's just like this like feeling, like I could just feel like a connection to her.
Yeah.
Like she was the one.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And so I pushed inquiry, didn't think anything of it. Literally did not like think we were gonna hear back from anybody. Went to bed that night, and I had this dream of my other dog that we lost. And basically, I don't remember like a lot of the details, but long story short, she was like showing me Maggie in my dream. And she was like she's for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, and I said, what do you mean she's for us? She's like, she's for you.
And I remember you said when you woke up, you said that Ming told you it's okay.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't understand. Like, I told her, like, I don't think I'm ready yet, and she goes, it's okay. It's.
That was me. That was me.
I was like, I don't think I'm ready yet, and she goes, it's okay. It's time. It's time. And I was like, but is it? She's like, it's okay. It's time. I'm like, it's just like a weird dream. I woke up the next morning, and Mia was so depressed. She just lay in her bed all day. She wouldn't play with anything. I tried to get her to play with a toy. She wouldn't. And it just kind of like our previous conversation kind of came back into my head of like, oh my gosh, she is depressed.
Yeah.
Like, I think that we all been mourning. We didn't really realize how bad it is. But now that you and I are in a place where like we're ready to move on, I'm seeing now even more so that Mia is depressed.
Right.
She won't go outside. She won't go for walks. She won't play with her toys. So I was like, looked back on Pet Finder, and I was just like looking at Maggie's pictures, and I was like, God, there's just something about her I just can't. So I like found them. I looked at the company that was the rescue for her on Pet Finder. I never heard back from them, so I looked them up on Facebook and messaged them, and they were like, I said, hey, like, we're interested in meeting her. Like, how do I go about that? And they were like, well, you have to do an application. And I was like, okay, well, I put an inquiry in on Pet Finder. Is that the list of applications? Because I have an application on Pet Finder profile.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you have to fill out like a PDF file one through email. And I was like, oh, can I do that? And she was like, well, we already have so many applications for Maggie, so we don't really need any more. But if they all fall through, then I'll let you know. And we had talked about like being ready for one anyway. So I was like, okay. I said, I get that. Can I just fill out like a generic one or whatever you guys can keep on file in case like another dog comes up? And she was like, that's fine, whatever. So I did that Friday. Printed it out, filled it out, rescanned it, saved it as a PDF file, sent it to him, and then the whole day Friday went by. I got a phone call from the same town that Maggie was in, and my heart skipped. Like, that's how I knew. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. So I'm like, hello? And they're like, this is such and such roofing calling to see if we can give you an estimate. And I was like, no, go away. And I was just like, oh. So like excited, and then it wasn't her. Then it was like 9 something at night. It was damn 10 o'clock, almost 10 o'clock at night. We get a phone call Friday night, same day I did the application. And they were like, hey, we know we told you there was tons of applications in front of you, but 2 of them fell through. We really like your application. If you want to come meet her, you can come meet her tomorrow. What time works for you? And I was like, whatever time's for you, I will make it work. You tell me.
Yeah.
So we filled it out. We seen her Thursday. I filled out the application Friday, and then we met her Saturday and brought her home.
Yeah.
It was so fast.
It was like just the decision to get another dog and finding her and getting her was very fast. And that was,
Yeah.
I was looking on the pictures. It was the 19th we went and got her of April.
The 19th of April. So
Yeah.
it's been like 2 weeks.
I think so, yeah.
So they said like one lady fell through because she refused a home visit inspection. And then another lady fell through because she lied about having a fenced-in yard.
Oh, yeah.
And when they did the Google search, they found out she didn't have a fenced-in yard. And then somebody else lied about, like, they have a landlord. And when they said, okay, she said that they're renting. And so then when she asked for the landlord's phone number to call and verify that it would be okay for them to adopt this dog, she refused to give the landlord's phone number.
Yeah.
And then somebody else, like, gave the wrong vet number or something. They thought that was suspicious.
Yeah.
She told me that what stood out on our application was the fact like how fast we did it, but also she said you have a fenced-in yard and another dog. And that was 2 things that they thought Maggie really needed.
Yeah.
And they called our vet's office, and our vet gave us a good recommendation. She said those 3 things, that's what stood out.
Yeah.
That's what bumped you up.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It was like meant to be. It was meant to be.
So it was just meant to happen. It was just one of those things that, we didn't force it. We just like literally happened so fast. And it felt so surreal. I'm like, I can't believe, like, when we brought Maggie home, I'm like, I can't believe she's here.
Yeah.
We were just looking at her pictures like 2 days ago.
Yeah. And Mia was very resistant at first.
She was annoyed, that's all.
She's not used to being around a puppy. She's used to being the puppy. But I'd say in these 2 weeks, she's come around to her a lot. They're cuddling together. They're actually playing more. And Mia still has her moments of wanting to lounge, but she's definitely not getting as much of a chance with Maggie. Maggie's
it's good
not,
for her. She's
yeah.
playing in the yard.
Yeah. Maggie's keeping her active,
One
which
of
is
the
what she
things
needs.
that, like, I didn't know if you wanted to talk on Mia's depression a little bit, because I feel like depression in dogs aren't really, like, talked about.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's just monitoring their behavior. How much has it changed?
So when we lost our fur baby back in December, we brought her home. And I don't know if I did the right thing or not, but one of the things that I wanted Mia to see her, because several years ago, my grandmother had 2 dogs, and she had to take one to get put down. When we came back home, the other dog, like, just lost his mind looking. Like, he would sit by the back door, or I guess the front door, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He would, like, sit there for hours and hours and hours, and every time they would leave somewhere, he would panic and hyperventilate and pant. Like, he was looking for his brother, and I didn't want Mia to go through that. So when we brought our puppy's body back, we laid her down and we let Mia, like, smell her and sniff her, and we put her in the box. Like, my dad built, like, a little wooden casket for her, and we nailed it shut. And then when we went and buried her, we had Mia with us. So Mia got to sniff everything and just observe it, and she sat down there with us, and she was quiet and everything. From that point on, Mia was just depressed. She refused to go out to the big yard. She'd only go. We had, like, a gated off area, like a small yard and a big yard.
We got like a little garden fence we have set up that separates to make a small yard.
She'd go a couple of feet from the back door, poop and pee, and come right back. She wouldn't run. She wouldn't go in the big yard, not unless you went with her, and you had to force her. She didn't want to go for car rides. She didn't want to go for walks. She was eating okay, but she didn't really want to play with toys. It was super rare.
And not for long.
Yeah. We have neighbor dogs, like, literally on all 3 sides. 2 dogs, 2 dogs, and 2 dogs. And she used to run up and down the fence line with them and play with them, because we have a chain link fence, and she wouldn't play with them. Like, she was depressed. Like, it was bad.
Noticeably depressed, yeah.
But I think because we were mourning, like, we didn't really notice, like, how bad it was. Like, because we just were, like, cuddle with her. We were just sad ourselves. But yeah. So it was time for us, and it was definitely way overdue for her. But I think I struggled to get there to be ready to get another dog, because I'm still really struggling sometimes. So that was the other thing. Her birthday's coming up. Our puppy that passed away, her birthday's coming up May 13th. And I'm doing a memorial video of all the vlog. It's not like a sad video. It's all the vlog clips from 2017 of her, like, just in our life, like going to DCG Con, going to the gathering, like all the stuff that we went and did that year in 2017. She's just like, it's, and there's a couple of parts where, like, she would bark or something, and Mia would start crying. If she heard her, she would cry.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even edit the video. I had to, like, put her in a different room to edit, because, like, she was sad. She was missing her sister.
Yeah,
for
she'd
sure.
start whining, looking for her.
Yeah. So it was time.
It was.
So yeah. So we went and we met her.
Oh.
And we asked all the right questions, which I highly encourage everybody to do. For us, it was, is she aggressive to dogs? Is she aggressive with food? Because they share a food bowl. Did she bark a lot? That's Library Luna's birthday.
Oh.
May 13th. She's going to be 5. Oh my gosh, our dogs have the same birthday? How crazy is that?
Very. That's cool.
So they told us Maggie was basically spent her whole life in a kennel. So everything is new to her. She's still learning potty training, even though she's 8 months. She's still learning not to bite.
She's picking it up pretty damn quick, though.
Yeah.
She is puppy pad trained, which is nice. We don't have to go through that process.
But she does not like being in a kennel. And I
Hell no,
understand why it's triggering for her, but god damn.
Oh my god, you would thought she was being murdered. Like you go out to the garage and she's
So we knew when we got her that she had spent like her whole life in a kennel. We didn't want to do that to her. So we got this giant playpen, okay? It's like a metal playpen you'd put like out in the yard for baby goats or puppies or whatever, right? She headbutts it until it moves where she wants to go. Then we put 2 50-pound weights and then 2 20-pound on all 4 sides. I'm like, that'll hold her because the dog's only 12 pounds. She can't move 50 pounds. Nope, that did not hold her. I have you guys know we did try everything we possibly could for when we do leave the house and nothing worked, so we did have to put her in a kennel when we leave the house. But like I'm putting her in the kennel, giving her a treat, giving her like, you know, telling her I love her and everything, and
yeah.
She's getting better, but she does not like being in that kennel.
No, she does not. I was thinking one thing we could do is set up a video. I know you said you wanted to see how long
Yeah.
it takes her to settle down. But if we do it with that kennel, then maybe we can do it to see where she's pushing so that we know how to reinforce it so it doesn't move.
I watched her. I had her in the kennel while I was mowing, and I could hear her outside.
Over the mower.
I thought it was someone else's dog. I had headphones in. I'm like, that can't be our dog. You know what I mean? It was really loud.
Oh god.
So when I get back, I can like shut the mower off. I can hear her just wailing inside. You can hear her like the metal clinking too from the kennel. So I sneak in the back door and I'm watching her, and she is like getting a running start and then just hitting the chain. The metal is hitting it with her head, and I'm like, girl.
Oh gosh.
And she would she charged, and I'm like, oh my, and then she'd do that little like.
Oh, that's freaking hilarious.
So yeah, now she is in a kennel, but I got water, a little water dish that like you screw onto the side because she goes crazy. And she's got a little, I keep a bone in there so she can kind of get that frustration out on the bone. You definitely can't leave puppy pads in there because she shreds them, and she shreds anything she can get. Somehow she got the barbell sticker off through the kennel.
The label off of it, yeah.
Like her snout ain't even that big.
Yeah.
So I think it's just traumatizing to her. She went straight from a breeder. Her and her brother went to this guy, and then he had them for several months, and then randomly just gave her away. So she was separated from her brother, separated from the only human she knows, and stuck in a crate, and she's just always been in a crate.
Yeah.
And I imagine that's probably pretty traumatic for her, so.
Yep, she seems happy here.
Yeah. I want to give her like the best life ever. You know what I mean? I just want to give her everything that she deserves and more.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, do we want to touch on the Zool show that we were going to go to in Michigan?
Oh yeah.
Which I still think that we might be able to do a turn and burn if we really wanted to.
Turn and burn? Like drive back the same night? There's no way.
No, but like
not from there.
If we had if we really, really, really wanted to, we could like just pack a light overnight bag. Like not toiletries, not shower stuff, not anything like that. Just drive straight up there, skip the hotel, just drive straight up there, go to the show, crash at the hotel, and come straight home the next morning. We could if we really, really wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Like,
it would be too much, I think.
as much as I want to go to that tour, that show to support, like, and I wanted to go to the one where they were closer to us. Obviously, there's the one in Columbus next weekend, and I'd said I was up in the air about going, and I've decided not to go.
Oh, have you? For
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me you made that I know you kind of like were 50-50, but
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think I'm going to pass on it.
yeah.
Because I mean, they're going to go on tour again. I guess Billy Obey was on Whatnot saying that they're planning a tour in the fall.
I guess for me, like, I feel bad that you missed it. So it's like I want to make this one work for you, but it just doesn't seem plausible.
Yeah.
Because basically our nephew's graduating. We already had these plans in the works, but then he's like, hey, my graduation party is
The same Saturday.
same Saturday the show, and his graduation party is 4 to 6.
Yeah.
And the show in Michigan for Zool is 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So we would have to leave his party early and rush up there during rush hour, literally.
Yeah.
And I feel like it would be such a panic. And then also, like, what are we gonna do with the dogs? Like, we gotta pack that stuff. Like, we can't get out of packing. We can pack less for us and sleep in our clothes and then wake up and come straight home. But like with them, we would have to pack things, and it just doesn't seem like an enjoyable experience to like be rushing, and then like if we hit traffic, then we're gonna be like panicked and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. It doesn't seem worth it to turn and burn for me. So.
But I just feel bad because you missed out on the other show, and
Well, I mean, I missed out on the other show kind of by my own choice because I could have actively planned to go to that as well. And here's my thing, though, too. You know what I mean? Last year, kind of into 2023 as well, we went to Axmas in December of 2023. We went to Camp Zool in June of last year. I went and saw them on tour in November of last year. So I very recently
when you went to Fort Wayne.
Yeah, I've recently seen them 3 times, all 3 of them. So like, yeah, I want to go see them. I want to support what they're doing, but it's also like I have been. So if I miss out on this tour, it's not a big deal. If I miss out on a couple shows, to me, it's not such a huge deal because I've been going to shows. It's not like I'm not absolutely going and seeing them. And that's kind of where I've made peace with it. It's like, yeah, I want to go. I want to support it, but I also have been, and I can still support in other ways. And that's, to me, what matters the most. And I know that they would understand too. So
for me, I'm like perfectly fine waiting till lights out.
yeah.
I just don't want you to feel like you're missing out or that like I'm not like being supportive or you don't feel like I don't want you to feel like you can't go. I'm perfectly fine waiting for lights out because it just makes me more excited for lights out. Like I'm even more pumped now because it's gonna be Kung Fu Vampire, Light, and Zool. Like I'm pumped. Like it's gonna be a great show. And we looked up nearby. It's in what town?
It's in
Pontiac, Michigan.
Yeah.
There's an aquarium nearby. There's Legoland nearby. Like I'm excited, man. Or Lego City or Lego store.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Like I'm planning. We go up. We like get to the hotel, get checked in. We go to the aquarium one day. Or we go to the Lego store. We get a Lego set or something to take home. Vlog it, obviously. And then, the next day we get up, we go to the aquarium, then we go to the show, then we come home the next. It's gonna be amazing. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
I think that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't have FOMO yet, but I worry about having FOMO for Camp Zool because I guess Billy Obey also said that this camp is shaping up to be the best one yet.
But we also
he knows who he's booking, so
you and I have also talked about financially if we can't afford Camp Zool, we could always go for 1 night, 2 days.
And that's something I'm thinking about too.
So if there's some artists there that we really want, check-in's not till 3. That's going to be the only issue because we have 2 dogs. So we'd go down 1 night, check in, go to Camp Zool. go see everything we want, and the next day check out and head back. Or we could go for 2 nights, 3 days.
Yeah.
Like, we'll make it worth it, you know. We just have to see financially. Like, we can't swing the biggest, because Camp Zool is not that expensive. The biggest thing is the hotel.
Yeah.
That's the biggest cost, is that dang hotel cost. So if that's the case, we could go for 1 to 2 nights, depending on who's performing what nights.
That's true.
Yeah, we could do it.
Yeah.
Do you know, my dad was talking about tattoos. There's a girl he used to work with that I guess, like, they went out to dinner or lunch or something. And he was like, she's got tattoos all over. And he was like, did you know how much they cost?
Yeah, they're expensive.
I'm like, yeah.
That's why I never got mine fixed. That's why I haven't gotten any more.
So I told him that we had like got an estimate to get like the outline of Indiana and just fill it in black, so it'd be a super easy, cheap cover up. And it was still going to be like $200, like 100 and something.
Yeah.
And he was like, Kenny has a tattoo? I was like, yeah. He's like, where? What is it? What color is it? What's that? What's a hatchet man? Like, and I was just like, I don't want to have this conversation, Dad. Like,
right. It cracks me up when people finally notice it. There was a girl at work that finally noticed it. One of the aides did. She goes, is that a tattoo on your elbow? I was like, yeah.
Do you feel like embarrassed by it sometimes?
Not really, no.
Well, just because it's botched, I mean.
That part, yeah. But normally when I show it off, I'm like, yeah, it's not the greatest. It's the tattoo artist did a horrible job.
Yeah, it's part of your story.
Yeah, it's true.
You might, just because of how faded it is, if you did want to get rid of it, I'd probably just do laser instead of a cover up, because it's already like pretty faded.
Yeah.
You would be better off just getting laser treatment removal.
Well, it's just seeing how much that's faded.
It's not going to cost any more than getting a tattoo cover up, but it's not going to hurt that much more either, probably.
Yeah, just seeing how faded it's become and just how hairy my arms are, it's also kind of like, do I even want to get any more tattoos? You know, that's the other thing for me that's kind of strayed me away from getting more tattoos, is that.
Yeah, but he didn't know how, he never got a tattoo price, so he like, it just blew his mind how much her tattoos all cost her. And
that's why sometimes it blows my
said
mind
she
to
was
see
like,
the amount of people that have tattoos.
This one costs $800, this one costs $500. And he said he was like doing the math in his head, and he was like, you've already got a couple grand on one arm. And I was like, yeah. He was like, when did they cost that much? They've always cost that much.
And I think a lot of people also misconceive how long it takes to have certain tattoos.
Well, the thing
because like my little tattoo here, this took like an hour to do that.
Jeez.
It takes time.
Well, the thing that we were talking about is like, you know, you buy a car and you buy it for $10,000. You use it for several years. You can probably sell it for $5,000 or $4,000, even in rough condition.
Yeah.
It depreciates, but you still get some of your initial investment back. But with a tattoo, like, it's the same as like buying perfume or cologne or even nail polish. Like, once you use it, it's gone. Like, you can't. There's no value after it.
Right.
And you could see like it was kind of the first time he really was like thinking about all that.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, I think we're pushing 2 hours on being live.
Oh, careful! You're squishing her.
Sorry.
So yeah, I was gonna tell you that I think that we should wrap things up here.
I gotta go pee soon.
If anybody in the chat has any questions or comments, now is your time, or forever hold your peace until the next live stream. Are you tired?
They both are. I'm kind of tired, but I didn't fall asleep till a little after midnight, and then I was up by like 5:30.
Gosh, her breath stinks.
Oh, big stretch, Maggie. Big stretch.
Her breath legit smells like a rotten fish tank.
Your breath is pretty bad, Mia. I think that's a Jack Russell thing. I really do.
No, I think it's I throw up every day, and so my teeth are rotten thing.
I don't know.
You.
I feel like every Jack Russell I've been around, their teeth are always rotten and their breath stinks.
What other Jack Russell? I've never in my life even pet another Jack Russell. What are you?
When I lived in New Zealand, our step grandma had one.
So that's 2?
Yeah.
So that's it?
Yeah.
You said it like every Jack Russell I've ever been around.
Hey, that's 100%. That's 2 out of 2. That's 100% of the Jack Russells I've been around. I've had
Okay.
bad breath.
You're full of it. Clearly.
You're done.
Well,
You're done.
Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us while we just chill on the comfy couch.
Yay, and munch on our lunch, and hopefully it wasn't too loud in your ears.
Some people like that.
Oh, like mukbangs?
Yeah, mukbangs and the ASMR videos. Right?
I'm eating my lunch. Yay. All right.
We'll see you guys later.
Michelle says bye.
Bye. Have a good rest of your guys' day. And I hope that next week is amazing. And if it's not, make it amazing. Yes. And if not, make somebody else's week amazing.
There you go. Peace
Thanks
out.
for watching, guys.
Peace.